Hey Stampers, Gaynor again, and I'm coming back with another fun fold card. I have done this a long time ago. I think I've made a little bit of a boo-boo with this one, but look at that beautiful paper. And this is from, it's called Fresh as a Daisy, and I just love it. And what a beautiful, the paper itself speaks for itself. It's absolutely beautiful. This little die comes in the set, the sentiments from the set. These are from a while back, and I just thought they looked really pretty with that paper, and they're blue adhesive back gems. They've got like a metallic finish and just a glittery finish, so I used those. And it's a pop-up fun fold. I mean, I just used designer series paper here and a sentiment. You could put another sentiment in there, you could add some flowers. I just think this paper is so beautiful, and this is the top half of that paper. So these are the bits. I'm going to use the same pieces on that one's for the inside and this one is for the outside, but you can tell that piece is from the top. So this gave me a little space on the inside to write a message as well. So I literally put my card, this piece, and glued it to the top, and I should have really flattened it down because this one catches a wee bit. It will close, but I've got to help it, and that's not too fair on the applicant. You can write on the back as well, but look how cute this paper is. By the time I finished cutting the pieces down, I was left with a little strip, which I'm not going to waste. It is exactly the same width as my paper, and I'm going to put my sentiment across there. I may higher it up and put it in the middle. I may put it at the top. I don't know on this one yet, but look at those pretty flower. I love the daisy sets. I've had them all and they're really pretty. And I've sussed it now. One of the die cuts out 3 flowers and it's one piece, but it's the white piece that, these are all separate. It's the white piece that's connected, but you've got a tiny little cut mark there and there to make separate flowers. And then you've got this overlaying piece that puts another dimension on top of the flowers. Beautiful. And I've put green leaves behind the leaves. These will all cut apart, so you've got all single. But yeah, I sussed it out yesterday while I was having a tinker around. But I used Daffodil Delight, Whisper White, thick white, and then another thick white on top. There's a little piece, there's a little die inside that will cut a centerpiece, which I should have put down maybe before I added all these bits. But how cute! So here's that little die from the daisy set, and then my Whisper White. I could add some flowers on there as well. Then I could put my sentiment on. I could even turn this over. We'll see what we're going to do on this card, but this one was just for prototype, and I maybe, look, see, it won't close. It will, but I've got to help it. So this time we'll make it a little bit better. So let me grab, I'm going to stamp first and then I can cut this out. I'll do that now actually, because I can leave my ink to dry, because I use the VersaFine, and that's upside down. So this one, I'm just going to do it in the center and leave that to one side to dry. I'm going to get my cloth out, because you know me, I don't like a dirty stamp set. Oh, what's that for? Did I put something on the inside? No. I've got another stamp out for some reason. I haven't used it yet, so you never know. But here's our card base, and it's just plain old Whisper White. I've got so much of this paper left, it's unreal. So it's cut, mine is cut at 11.5 by 4 1/8, and I'm just gonna fold my card, because it's gonna have layers, it will thicken the card up, and I'm just gonna fold that over and crease that. Make sure I burnish both sides and pick the best. Cute. Now whilst I'm out, I did pop some beautiful flowers. Oh, that's where it's for. Your friendship means everything. So I've added some little, I think, what colour are these? It's crushed curry to match the designer series paper. So I'm going to grab those cute little leaves. And I love the way they turn. So I can have them in this corner. And then if I douse it and turn it and put it in the other corner, it will not match, but it gives it a nice little setting. And let's have a look inside. No, I think that's cute enough. So whilst that is out, I will fetch a piece of my designer series paper, and I'm just looking, and it's this one. So I use crushed curry, and I'm going to use black. This is the new Moody Mauve, I think it's called. And I'm going to set that. Oh, cute. Just while my cloth's out so I can do all the stamping. Right, so there's our card base. This is, like I said, your card, if you're American, will be 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. You'll just adjust your designer series paper according. And then you're going to need another 2 pieces. These are both 3 inches. One is 8 inches long by 3. And this one is 9 inches by 3. So the 9-inch one, I'm going to use my Stampin' Up trimmer. I've been using my other score tool, and it's been not giving me the correct. So we're going to do 2 1/4. I'm going to do 4 1/2. And to save me pulling the arm out again, I'm just going to spin it round and do 2 1/4 again. But you can do it at 2 1/4, 4 1/2, and 6 3/4. So you're going to fold this together in the centre, making sure your edges come together. And we're just going to give that a light burnish because it's not the thickest of cardstock, but once it's layered up. And then what we're going to do, we're going to fold these backwards. You could turn your cardstock the opposite way to score. Just make sure everything's lined up nicely. And again, it makes a giant M or a big W depending on which way you turn it. I'm just going to burnish both sides. So we're going to have a giant, oh, that looks, yeah, it looks like an upside down. So that's the M, but we're going to turn it that way so it's like a W. Oh no, it does look like an M. Yeah, an M. So these pieces, you want this centerpiece poking up, and that's the way we're going to do that. We're going to set that to one side a minute. Now this piece, which is the 8, we're going to score this at 1 1/2 inches, which is halfway through, making sure it's pushed up both sides. Score that through, and then what we're going to do is take that out. I mean, you can bend that over and give it a good burnish. You can bend it both ways if you want to. It's entirely up to you. But what we're going to do then, my cardstock was fraying, so I've just changed the blade. So we need to pop this in at 2 1/2 inches, and with a pencil, I'm just going to put a tiny little, it won't fit, so I'll get the other pencil. There it is, with a longer tip. Little mark that side, little mark that side, and then we're going to do exactly the same at 5 1/2. And we're going to put that in, and another little mark that side, and another little mark that side. So you can see that I've got one here and I've got one here. Can you see that? Yeah. So now we're going to score between that mark and this mark opposite. So I'm putting that right on there and right on there. And then I'm going to make sure it's in the track, top and bottom. I just pull it down away. And we're going to score right through there. And then we're going to switch it over and do exactly the same on this side. From that mark to this mark. And again, making sure, and that's perfect. So we've got a little cross going through the centre of our cardstock. And again, fold these both ways. Oops. Just to give it, because it's going to open and close, open and close. And then we've got this crisscross through the centre and through there. Now we need to just get a pencil and remove our little marks. It would help if I got a decent rubber. Let's see if the end of my pencil will do it. Yay. The other one's a glue rubber, so I don't think that works as good. So again, we can make sure that we burnish these lines nice and neat both ways, and then we've burnished our halfway mark. We can fold it over and burnish that way as well, and we can again burnish this side. You don't have to, but it makes it easier to fold. So now we've got this. It looks floppy. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull this point and this point together. And then we're going to pull that point and that point together. And we're going to make it always reminds me of a little house with a roof. And we're going to do some burnishing just to keep it nice and stiff. So when you've got it together, you've got the scent coming together, you've got your nice little peak, and you've made yourself a little house on the paint. Don't go squidgy over and over, but you should have the same different either side. So you've got, so instead of trying to force this down, just push these sides in, she says, and then if that pokes out, just push that one in and pull those sides out again. And there is our little mechanism for the inside. So this is the top of my card. I've already cut my designer series paper. I've cut this to 4 inches because the card's 4 1/8 to 5 5/8 because my card is 5 3/4. So we've got a small border all the way around. Just make sure that's nice and straight. Perfect. I'm going to get my glue. Whoops. And I'm going to give this a nice little, I don't have to have a lot because this glue is good. So there is that beautiful pattern. And I'm just going to line this up with my paper, making sure I've got a nice border all the way around. I mean, that is really pretty. You could have that with a nice sentiment on for the top bit even. But we've got this gorgeous paper here. Absolutely beautiful. And I'm thinking, do I have any ribbon to hand? This is my piece, and I don't know whether to keep it. I'm going to keep either the blue to just make it offset, or could I turn it round and have it's what's the colour? Let me have a look. I'm not sure if it's copper clay. You've got boho blue, Cajun craze, copper clay. It's not early espresso, and then you've got it's not pebbled path. It is definitely either copper clay or it's going to be Cajun Craze. That to me looks a bit like that new copper clay, so let's get that on there. So let's determine, are we going to have it in the centre? Oh, battery's gone. Let me swap that over. Sorry, girls. I knew it was on its way, but I didn't know how long the life was left. So let me put that on charge. Perfect. I do apologise, I wasn't thinking. So, are we going to have that way, and then our sentiment will run across there? Are we going to have it lower down like I had that other one? I don't want to chop any of those flowers off, see? Oh, that's pretty. But we could just go in with the blue again. I think the blue is pretty because my little gemstones will match. So let's add our designer series paper on. You don't even have to have a designer series paper on the inside. That is entirely up to you. You could use that for another card, but I just thought it looked pretty. Lovely. Got a bit of glue on my finger. Give that a rummage down to spread out my glue. That is too perfect. So now we've done that, we'll come back to the decorating. So you're going to open up your card now. You're going to take your little housey house, as I call it. It looks like two sides of a house and we're going to really, we want to go in, but we don't want it pressing up. We want it so it folds. And we've got a good gap either side. So we want it so it's not too far up there so we can't fold the card. So line it up. Let's get some glue on. You're only going to put glue on this little triangle. And don't go too nuts because I could have too much there and it could be oozing out. So I'm just going to spread it nice with my finger quick. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay this roughly in the center, making sure I've got enough, and that's equally balanced either side more or less, and then I'm just going to press it down. Perfect. That's so cute. And then now we're just going to attach a little bit of glue on the top section as well. You don't have to go nuts. And then again, fold the card over. Just give this a little burnish. And then, ta-da! That's the thing we want. So now this panel, I can add my little panels on later. You want to line this up with the center and then push this all the way to the top. Yeah, and to keep it, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna get my ruler and I'm just gonna put the time. You don't have to do this. I'm hoping that's straight, but I'm just doing it as a guide. I'm just gonna have a little tiny nick, top and bottom, so I know that I'm gonna add my line right up there. So I've got it roughly in. So I'm going to add glue. Let me just check. Yeah, I'm going to add glue at the bottom and glue at the top. No, glue at the bottom there and glue at the top there. Yeah, so I'm going to add it here. So again, I'm going to keep my centre line lined up with my little pencil mark, which no one's going to see. You're going to push that flat, open that out, and then add your glue there and just fold that over, making sure you got it all lined up nicely at the top. And then you're going to fold this back and you're going to do the opposite corners. So you could do there and there. I'm doing here and here. And I'm not adding too much. And then I'm going to fold that across. I'm going to make sure first that Gaynor's got that in the right spot. All the way up to that edge. And then I can burnish that down. And then this should pop And these should pop. There we go. So now we've got that closing action. So it pops open like that. And this one opens and closes properly. That is too cute. What I did before, I left my sides and I glued that bit right up to this section. And you need a little bit of an overhang. And the same on this side. I glued, if you look here, I glued it level, and you don't need that. You need to have a gap. So where I glued it level on this one, you need a gap on this one. And the same on this side. I glued it right up to the corner. That is why that is sticking out so much. It will close, but you've got to help it. And with this one, it will close on itself. Lovely. So my little panels. These are from the little die cut pieces that come from the kit, from the designer series paper. I might even add mine on there. These are cut at 2 inches by 2 3/4. Small borders, only because I've got small borders this time is because some of these little pieces of paper weren't quite tall enough. So I thought, right, I'll level them off in the inside. So now I'm going to add my little bits of designer series paper, making sure they're pretty level. And I can still pop my card up. Oh, they're so cute. So I add green, yellow, mauve and mauve. So this time I'm going to put my mauve on here. So they're opposite. It's so cute. And then I'm going to just attach that. You can attach these beforehand. But I know some of you like to use less designer series paper. I don't mind actually, because I'm going to have my yellow here and my green in between. Oh no, I'm not. I'm going to have my green here and my yellow in between. But you can cut out some of the daisies. You could cut out some flowers from a different set, whatever takes your fancy. Keeping the designer series paper level. And again, this piece. That is so cute. I just thought I'd work with these offcuts. Well, the die cut. Well, it's what it is. It's a sheet of designer series paper with different lines going through, so you can cut it apart. I'll show you now. Where's my paper? So it come with these. Absolutely fabulous. So you've got this little blue one. You've got the absolutely gorgeous. I mean, I could cut these down. Look at that. But these are perfect. These are 4 by 5 1/4, so they make perfect card fronts. I mean, look at that. Nice sentiment going through there. Maybe a cut out daisy. And there, just a sentiment. Beautiful. And you get 2 sheets. So I've cut mine apart, ready to make cards. Love it. So I'll fetch my little die machine in. I'll pop that to one side. Just to make sure it's still closing. There we go. Look, perfect. So cute. I have my little sentiment and I can line this up perfect, keeping everything absolutely perfectly straight. And then I can die cut that piece out. There we go. Slide that back through. There is that cute little sentiment. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, that's a little bit wonky. What I'm going to do, I'm going to add that on there because it fits perfect And what I might do this time is add this on dimensionals. Just to give it a, but then we've got the bulk. No, it's not that bulky. So let me get that out the way. Put this back in my stamp set. Put that up there. See, this is one piece. But you've got the connectors so you can cut them apart. This is that little centerpiece. I think it's to go on one of these flowers, I'm not sure, but you put it underneath a different color. Then you've got these layers on the top, and then you've got the actual base to cut the flower out, and it's lining them up, it is, but it's, once you've done it once, they're so simple. And what I will do then, I will get a black marker pen, because lining these up, I will get my permanent marker pen, and I will put, say, a dot there and a dot there. That way I know to line them up. And on this one, I shall put a dot there and I shall put a dot there, knowing I can line them up. And this one's pretty simple, but I'll still put a dot there and a dot there. And then what I'll do is when I line these up with this, I will find out where the dots go on there, and I can just line them up as well. So a little tip for you, because we don't want you struggling. So I might pop this on dimensionals actually. So let's pop that on there. Did I add the dimensionals on there? Yeah, I popped that on dimensionals, see? So let's get the backings off ready. And I think I'm going to stick to the same way I had it. Little bit of glue. I just love it. I might even add it a little bit. Oh, I don't know. Do you know, the paper is so cute. I could add it down there. I think I'm going to add it across the centre. A little bit more towards the centre. Just make sure that's nice and straight. It looks straight to me. Does that look straight? That looks straight to me. And then we can line up this beautiful sentiment. Fits across that piece of paper. The width of that is, oh, it's about oh no, it's just short of an inch. So it's a fraction short of an inch, but that is beautiful. Then we've got these beautiful blue gems. I'm just going to put one either side, and I'm going to pick one of these flowers to have one in the center. I think I'm going to stick with that one there. Oh, that one. No, definitely that one, just to cover that centerpiece. That is absolutely adorable. But you don't want nothing amazing. Well, you've got both. You've got amazing on the front and on the inside. But now open up your card, and with these beautiful cut aparts, I'm going to try, and I'm going to cut that leaf off. Just to give that, I'm going to try and get that little bit off there. That's better. So that has cut that apart. So let's see. I could add that little daisy in there. Oh, that big one would fit in there, but it'd also fit in there. So let's cut this flower apart. So these are separate on the back. I've just kept the glue, the white stuff that was cut together. Let me just see. There we go. So we've got a little flower there. We've got a leaf there. These are just resting on the top. Look, they're not connected, but they're connected by that little white piece there. That is too cute. Now let's test that on the front. So I could put that there. That is so adorable. And maybe even tuck it behind the sentiment there. Let's just leave that there for a minute. Open our card up. I could get the stem. No, I might just put that on there, or just under there, into the corner, but without going over the score lines. So let's add that there. And I'm just going to put that over that way a little bit, so I'm nowhere near the score line, and I'm going to get my journaling pen. And I'm just going to add a little stem. Nothing major. I'm not going out the paper lines. And then with this one, I'm going to definitely add that on there, and my little leaf as well. So let's get this squishy down. I'm not pushing that centerpiece yet, because I want to come front and back and just push that. It doesn't matter if it goes over the top, because our little lines are pushing in and it's not stopping the card from opening. Oh, that is so pretty. Oh, I tell you what would look nice. Winker Stella. Just on the petals. Just to give them like a morning dew shine. Give them some glitter. Oh, that is so lovely. And I'm loving the white on white. Give that another shake. Oh, that is so pretty. Oh, I hope you can see that. Let's just hold that up. You can see that glitter. Oh, there you go. There's a little shine there. But that is so cute. So there is the inside. And am I going to add that there? Just to give it some contrast. I think I will. And I'm just putting glue in the centre, just so I can tuck that just under there. Press that down. That is absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So there is my finished card this time, and our lovely, beautiful daisy, delightful daisy as it's called. Oh, cheerful daisy. So this one works, but I'll just keep this as my prototype. It will close. I like this one, and I like this one. So let's get a bit more Winker Stella on my. Let's see if that is even coming out. Oh, there it is. Oh, that's better. Oh, there's lots more shine on this one. Some glitter in the centre. Oh, just gonna add a little bit of glitter on that flower where the gem is. Otherwise I'll be here all night long. And then there is that shine. It looks beautiful in person. But there we go. There's my beautiful pop-up tent fold cheerful daisies pop-up card. I hope you like it. I hope you give it a go. And don't do what I did. Glue the corners to the edge. Let them overflap, because that is too deep and it won't it will shut, but I've got to close it, and it should be the fact that the card does it like this one. So hello, that is so much easier. So there we go. I hope you enjoy. Thank you for watching. Come back next time and see what we're making next time. Till next time, bye.